Welcome to Pie Guys Pick'em. It is the last of the season previews here on this show. What a way to save the North for last after the big trade that went down yesterday that I'll get into in a few minutes here. Johnny the Prop Man will make his 2025 debut on the show in a little bit. He is just getting organized. He'll be on in a little bit. So we'll leave in my opinion, the more fun, the more controversial division for later on. And I'm going to start here with the AFC North as we will break down each and every team and their schedules as we look to make season-long and week-to-week bets here on Pie Guys Pick'em. A scheduling note, next week I am traveling on Friday. So the show next week I'm thinking it might be around 8-9 o'clock. But regardless, we will have our first every game on the board breakdown show next week, where we go through every NFL game excluding Thursday night. I give out free bets, free picks, and week one has historically been very good for me. Last week, week one, the best bet was the Minnesota Vikings to beat the Giants. That was the easiest bet on the board. We had a lot of winners week one, and I should have. And now I learned my lesson, and we're playing full units. So as opposed to this half unit, the dip your toes in stuff that we hear regularly. But that will be next week. Today, it is the AFC and NFC North. Let's get started with the Baltimore Ravens, currently power rated as the number one team in the NFL on most people's power rankings, on the books power rankings. The only game they are underdogs in is week one to the Bills. And, if you take away home field, it'd basically be a pick 'em, or Baltimore is a slight favorite. This team has had playoff issues, the last couple of years. Could only score 14 points against the Chiefs 2 years ago. Last year, Mark Andrews dropping that catch that would have won the game for them against Buffalo. Despite being power rated as the top team in the NFL, they haven't made it to a Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson in the Lamar Jackson era. This team is loaded on offense. Obviously, Lamar Jackson, quarterback, Derrick Henry, running back, and behind him, Justice Hill, Keaton Mitchell. They upgraded a backup quarterback, in my opinion, with Cooper Rush, who is a very capable backup in case something were to happen to Lamar this season. And they did sign the other day. They signed Snoop. Sorry, you got to say his agent makes you say it. Former Pro Bowler Snoop Tyler Huntley to practice squad. So they have some quarterback depth here in case Lamar, Lamar has to miss a couple of games in the regular season. Wide receiver, has been sort of a soft spot for this team the last few years. Zay Flowers is their wide receiver one. He's a wide receiver one, I think. Borderline, but he's there. DeAndre Hopkins comes over from the Chiefs and the Titans, and Bateman, has been better the last couple of years. They drafted him a few years back. Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely, very good pass catching tight end room and decent blocking tight end room. I've heard rumors that Likely may overtake Andrews for the number one tight end spot after that drop. That's the kind of drop, the Mark Andrews drop in the playoffs, that can ruin a career. Like, it can give you the yips, can get in someone's head. So fantasy players beware drafting Mark Andrews as your tight end. I'm a little bit worried. Obviously, Ronnie Stanley is a very, very good offensive line. Tyler Linderbaum at center. Rosengarten, maybe the weak spot on the O-line, but Falele Borges, pretty good. Solid. And you have Lamar back there. And obviously, Patrick Ricard, the fullback, who also is very good, gets his touches and his blocks in this offense. The defense, outstanding up front. Dafe Awe, Roquan Smith, very good linebacker. Matabuke is very, very good. A lot of good presence up front. Now Kyle Van Noy is getting long in the tooth, so maybe he had a lot of sacks last year. So I don't know. if we can rely on that if you're Ravens this year, but with the other good players up front, maybe he sometimes becomes the unblocked man or the man on the with the running back blocking him. So if he can still break those softer tackles, he can still get there. Jair Alexander comes over from Green Bay. Marlon Humphrey, he's getting a little long in the tooth too. Nate Williams is very good, but they have depth. Owuzie is pretty good corner, and he's he's their CB2 behind Wiggins on the left side. Kyle Hamilton, obviously, very good safety. I forget a couple of years ago they were messing around with him to start the season. Now, and then they figured it out as the season went along where to put Hamilton. The big change on the special teams, of course, Justin Tucker is gone after his off the field issues. Tyler Loop looks to be the new place kicker. Stout is very good. Justice Hill is a good kick returner. They have Tylan Wallace listed as a punt returner. I will see how that goes. It looks like Johnny is here. The Ravens minus 160 to win the division. I mean, it's definitely not the worst bet in the world. I think that you could play it. They're probably going to win. We'll talk about the other teams. Johnny, any thoughts on the Ravens?
They're a good team. The solid team from offense to defense to coaching. They're a solid team. They're gonna be good, and like you said, they could win the division easily.
I don't see Pittsburgh. I mean, they're not as big a favorite as the Bills. Take a look at the schedule here. But that's just because Pittsburgh and Cincinnati are better than anybody in the AFC East.
Well, since he can just, they can win games, 40-30. We'll talk about them later, but in
a minute,
since he can win the division too.
Yeah, exactly. Cincinnati is a real threat, unlike, the Dolphins or the Patriots or the Jets. So that's why with Baltimore, it's minus 160. You're going to see a lot of Baltimore. They got some prime time, first week of the season prime time. They get Detroit in prime time. They get Miami in prime time. It's kind of I've seen the Ravens come down to Miami on a Thursday night midseason and get punked. So that could be a little bit of a trap spot if the Dolphins aren't, imploding. Cincinnati, they play on Thanksgiving. They play at Green Bay. Green Bay's got an extra day to prepare there. So there's some tough games on the schedule here. Especially look at that start. I mean, Buffalo, Detroit, KC, Cleveland mixed in there. Houston, Rams. It's 5 first place teams. And the Browns, who beat you last year once.
Yeah, they always show up with you guys. Don't count up them Browns was the Ravens,
But maybe if the Ravens get off to a rocky start, you can live bet them. If maybe Cincinnati's 4-2 or 5-1 or something at that point. The Ravens are like 3-3. Maybe you can get the Ravens at plus money, and then I would buy. I mean, this is my number one power rated team as well. I don't think there's really an argument. Them and the Bills are neck and neck. The Packers are now up there pretty high. We'll talk about them in a minute. But, 160, if you like it, if you're not afraid to lay juice, I think it's fine. The win total 11.5. It depends on these. The AFC North is a weird division where anybody can beat anybody at any time. It's one of those weird divisions. And don't be shocked when Myles Garrett wins a game against Baltimore by himself. The Browns play up. Joe Flacco throws the ball up a couple of times, and Cedric Tillman comes down with it, 5 out of 6 times, and it's trouble. But that's why it's not really. AFC North teams, win totals over 11.5 is a big number. So. No bet for me on the Ravens. Did you have any action?
I have nothing to do with the Ravens.
Okay, but I know you do have a bet on this next team as we get rid of. How do I move this now? There we go. All right, it's been a week. The Cincinnati Bengals. the second choice in the division, plus 250. Obviously, they paid T. Higgins, they paid Jamar Chase, and they paid Joe Burrow. And they paid Trey Hendrickson. Now he is free to leave at the end of the season, but they gave him $30 million.
I don't believe he will be coming back next year. That's my opinion. But
yeah, he's gonna be 31. I mean, it's not the worst. I let him walk, but maybe you never know. If the Bengals, there's some injuries, maybe they trade him. Very good.
The problem is you don't have no one else.
Yeah, I know. So we'll get to the defense in a minute. But the offense is good. We know the offense is good.
Oh, the offense is fantastic. It might be the best offense in the league.
Well, the problem is Mr. Left Tackle Orlando Brown Jr. Absolutely fell off a cliff as soon as he left Dallas. He's been awful. That's their big offensive line signing a few years ago. Ted Karras is a good center. The rest of these guys are mid or below mid. The offensive line has been a problem for years in Cincinnati. They refused to address it. Or they tried and it didn't work with Orlando Brown. But I mean, look at their skill position: Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Yoshi Vaz, Mike Gesicki. You know what I mean? Like that's as good as it gets. P. Ryan is back. Samaje P. Ryan is back. Bet those P. Ryan touchdown props because we know they love to give it to him on the goal line. It's gonna be good plus money. I'm gonna be on those.
I'm just saying if they need some O-line help. If they need offensive line, I've been bulking up. I put on some weight. They can call me in.
Johnny's volunteering to block.
I would go
Myles
head to hold was Myles Garrett. Yeah.
Yeah. Myles Garrett gonna pancake you, and then Burrow.
You'll be with every penny.
Maybe you can block Watt. He's getting a little bit old.
I'll just take the knees out. I'll take the flag. It's okay.
Oh, okay. I mean. So they were awful. The defense was awful in the preseason, but it's a new system. They were playing vanilla base defense. So I'm not sold that this defense is going to be as bad as it was last year. Is it going to be good? No. But, Logan Wilson, Jordan Battle, Geno Stone, Cam Taylor, Britt, DJ Turner, they're not awful. They're probably a replacement level, maybe a little bit better. Some of those guys. Definitely Trey Hendrickson's good. The pass rush outside of him, I mean, they got rid of Hubbard, who kind of fell off a cliff. I think that was a good addition by subtraction. So I think the defense could be a little bit better than it was
last. It's hard to be worse.
It is hard to be worse. I mean, the Panthers were worse. We have a
but the Panthers are the Panthers.
At McPherson's back, I think he was a little bit banged up last year, so I'm not too worried about him. Charlie Jones is a good kick returner. I think he had a kick return touchdown last year. And then they have Ryan Reckow as their punter. And I mean, I remember him being there last year, but the Bengals didn't pump much last year because they were either down or they needed to go for it or they just scored. Now I know you have a season-long bet involving the Bengals on your prop report, so let me get it out of the way now.
Yeah, T. Higgins is my boy. You guys seen I went to him a lot last year when he played. I'm taking him over 900. What's the number? What did I get him? 975.5 receiving yards. Over.
So are you worried about the injury that came up during preseason?
So T. Higgins is always going to have his injuries. Last year he just missed his number by 61 or 65 yards, and he only played 12 games.
Yeah, and you're going to have that.
He's averaging 75. He averaged 75 yards a game last year. So hopefully he stays healthy, and we get it easily. Now, if you think he's going to get injured, just go bet the Jamar Chase over, because then there's no one else. He's got to get the ball.
Well, Yoshi's there, and Mike.
Chase is going to take over.
Yeah, he is going to take over. And look who's on the schedule. The T. Higgins game, week 4, where we know that the Broncos. What happened last year? They took away Chase, and what happened? T. Higgins cooked their ass for 3 touchdowns and 1 million.
I was on T. Higgins that game.
Yeah, I think we're going to be on T. Higgins that game again. And it's a Monday night game. That's gonna be a fun game. It might be some sort of T. Higgins same game parlay going on here.
Here's a spoiler for next week. If T. Higgins is playing, I look at that Browns matchup and he looks juicy.
Oh, look at the week after. It's even better.
Oh, it's a gift that just keeps on giving.
Yeah, their schedule. I mean, you could be 3-0 quick, and then it gets tough.
You can be 2-4 real quick too. You know, they can go to Mini and lose. They can go to Denver and lose. So.
Yeah, I kind of like the Minnesota matchup though. You get him early before the quarterback might have a chance to get his feet under him fully. But the first two definitely are like look like wins. I'm high on the Jags, but this is like the Jags but better. Like if the Jags have upside, they have like Cincy upside. But then Pittsburgh, the Jets, Chicago, 3 home games. It looks to be right, unless I miscounted 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 3 home games in a row. So you could get some good. You get Green Bay off the bye. That's awful. And Micah Parsons is coming against that garbage or suspect offensive line. Down the stretch.
Joe Burrow should sit that game. He might want to sit that game out.
The Green Bay game? Yeah, maybe. Maybe who's the backup?
Micah Parsons.
Jake Browning.
We'll talk about Parsons later. I'm mixed on him. I don't know how he's going to perform, to be honest with you.
Okay. Then they got that awful stretch again at Baltimore, at Buffalo, again the Baltimore at home. But then you finish at Miami. Miami on a short week, and who knows how disheveled they're going to be. And then the Cardinals and the Browns. You should finish 3-0. The good news is for the Bengals that if you like them, you don't need them to win the division because they finished the year with 2 games at home. And so they don't have to play more than 3 road games in a row. So they could, I think, potentially make it to the Super Bowl as a wild card. So maybe if you like the Bengals, maybe I would play the NFC. Like if you want to get into like the really high chances, maybe you play the AFC or the Super Bowl prop because they don't need to win the division with those 2 home games at the end of the season. You can win a couple on the road. And who knows, maybe you play another wild card team. The weird things happen in the AFC. But in terms of I actually, a lot of people I was listening to like the under with this team. I can't do it. I look at the schedule. I mean, like there's defenses. These guys are just going to tear apart. And if Burrow stays healthy, like they're gonna win 10 games. Come on, they're better than Pittsburgh. They're better than Chicago, Jacksonville. Arizona, and then they steal one against Baltimore. They can win the division, and and I think again teams at a good time. I don't mind go to Denver early before it gets too cold. You know what I mean? You know what you did to them last year. The same game plan. They want to take away Chase. We're going to throw to Higgins. They don't want to take away Chase. We're going to throw to Chase.
Higgins is a very good receiver. I was about to say top 5. He might be like top 7, top 8. He's wide receiver 1 on most teams.
Well, Cowboy Keith was praying he was going to be on the Patriots. That would have been fun. It would have been fun. But it would have been fun. All right, we move along here. The Pittsburgh Steelers, the Connor team. Aaron Rodgers behind center here. He's back. The ayahuasca and all the fun, but he's been quiet. It's been a quiet offseason. Maybe it's because the Cowboys gotta, hog the spotlight like they always do. But maybe that's a good thing. I mean, Tomlin's not gonna take. Tomlin is a player's coach, so maybe Rodgers could work here. Jaylen Warren, Caleb Johnson, good 1-2 running back combo. DK Metcalf is the new wide receiver 1 here. They got Scotty Miller. Anytime Pittsburgh picks up a wide receiver, I trust them because they've had such good time drafting them. And Scotty Miller was kind of the odd man out in a crowded Tampa Bay wide receiver room. So he'll be the wide receiver 4 here. Calvin Austin showed. I was betting some Calvin Austin props at the end of last year. And they have Arthur Smith got his boy Jonnu Smith back. So, Freiermuth drafters beware.
Rodgers loves his tight ends.
Yeah. Now, the offensive line, it's a tale of two things. Their run blocking numbers are very, very good, but their pass blocking numbers are not good. So, Aaron Rodgers, I think he understands. He's been around a long time. You got to get the ball out quickly. Okay, none of these 7-step dropbacks. You got fast guys. You got Scotty Miller. You got Calvin Austin. DK Metcalf is one-on-one against anybody. You take your chance. You know what I mean? He's a big guy. So I think the offense can work here. What's your thought on the Aaron Rodgers experience?
I seen some tape and he did not look good moving. He looked slow. He looked slower than he did in the Jets, but he finished the Jets off not bad. He didn't, end terribly with them. He had a couple of good games at the end there, but the offense is gonna go as Aaron Rodgers goes, right?
Yeah, and this defense is pretty good. You don't need to score, into the 30s here, unless you're playing maybe the Ravens. The defense is like the names are like Cam Hayward, TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith looks like he's going to be back. Watch out opposing quarterbacks because you can't block everybody. Those are 3 guys who are coming. I know Hayward's getting old, but he's good. He's good rotation. They got some good guys there on the edge. Patrick Queen, he was okay, not great. But then you look at the backfield and a lot of veterans here. We have Ramsey and Slay coming over from the Dolphins and the Eagles. Of course, Fitzpatrick going the other way in the Dolphins. So now you have Deshaun Elliott at safety and Juan Thornhill. So a little downgrade at safety, but Ramsey's better than Fitzpatrick. The corner's more important. So you kind of got 2 guys on the outside. You can play sort of a shell coverage pretty well here. And but I worry they're a little susceptible to the run. But maybe with your elite corners, maybe they try to play like a heavy box because you don't really need to you trust your corners against some of these guys. So there's potential depending on Tomlin's a good defensive coach. I mean, no shit, he's been there 20-something years, but
they're going to finish 9-8.
That is Cowboy Keith's prediction. He went to send me. I think he sent me a couple of his plays, but he gave that out on the show, the last show of last year after the Super Bowl. He said, "Yeah, the Steelers finished 9-8." I don't hate it. We'll take a look at their schedule here. And I think they have, in my opinion, the number 1 kicker in the league, especially fantasy wise. Because Tomlin's going to kick the field goal. And he kicks. He was so good last year. I don't see him falling off like that hard. Even if he falls off a little bit. So that week 1 is very, very interesting. The Jets have a good D-line, and the money has come for the Jets. I looked today; it's down to 2.5 road favorites there. So that but look, there are 4 winnable games early bye. I don't know about that because you get an old quarterback. You kind of want your mid mid bye. Well, look, 4 winnable games to start off. 1's overseas. They look like low-scoring games. This could be like a big under team, maybe. Then Cleveland, but Cleveland's off to London. It's almost a free win. We'll talk about Cleveland next. And we will see that the Steelers, look, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wait. Do we have to talk about Cleveland? We can just skip the Browns.
Oh, I want to laugh at them a little bit.
Okay, fine. Sorry, Browns fans.
Yeah, I mean, you face the Bengals you face a couple of teams where they have extra rest, and I think that's got to be a problem. It's a team that strength recently has been sort of like the play hard, raw games. The Chicago game is going to be interesting. That Week 12 game against the Bears could, that could one team could whoever wins that game could think they could make playoffs, and the loser might be it for them. So that's an interesting game to point out. I don't know if this Monday Night Football game that feels like that one's going to be flexed out Week 15, but right now they're scheduled to play the Dolphins. I don't know if that's going to hold, considering we might if you look at their first 5 games, those could be some very, very low scoring games. And then the Dolphins might just be a disaster, but we'll see. Tyreek Hill needs to pay his exes, so yeah, it could hurt. They have momentum. It would be nice if they had like that Colts game. But I mean, I get they won it off the international thing. But if that Colts game was Week 5 and then you had the bye Week 9, I feel like, and then you played the Chargers. I feel like you could beat the Chargers on extra rest. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, their win total is 8.5. I'm not betting the under. It's not, people have been the Steelers under win total for years. Very few have cashed because they win 9-8 games, every year. And it feels like they could get up to a strong start, which is why I was saying with Baltimore, like they have a tough early schedule. The Bengals and the Steelers kind of have a softer early schedule, especially Pittsburgh. They could be 5-0. So maybe you let Pittsburgh win these, 4-1. Maybe they lose to the Vikings. Maybe they lose to New England, Seattle, one of those games. Maybe they're 4-1, 5-0, and then the Ravens are 3-3 at that point, or 4-2, and then you bet Baltimore win the division because Baltimore's better. Now we're gonna talk about the Browns.
The Browns.
Oh boy, and the Factory of Sadness is back. It's back. This team is an absolute disaster outside of Myles Garrett. They paid him $40 million a year, and he was the top non-offensive player, I believe, until last night. That was the highest contract. Now we talked earlier. This team is scrappy. Okay, they're not going to go 0 whatever again. They were 0-16 one year. I feel like this team is scrappy. They got with Myles Garrett there. They kind of rally around him. Denzel Ward's a good corner. They got their corner. Their defense is okay. Like it's probably a top half of the league defense. Their offensive line is old and getting slower. And like it's the same guys. It's still Jack Conklin, Wyatt Teller, Joe Batanio. I mean, these guys have been getting worse and getting hurt every year. Joe Flacco doesn't have the receivers to just chuck it up to that you can rely on. I mean, Jerry Jeudy, Cedric Tillman, and David Njoku, and that one of them is going to catch a 70-yard ball probably week 1. I don't know which one, but Joe Flacco's an over quarterback, though. I mean, it's an interesting choice. Why do you think they picked Flacco?
Experience.
Yeah, experience. Maybe they
he's not going to be the starter at the end of the year.
No, it'll probably be Shedeur. I think that Gabriel guy seems like he's a little bit of an idiot, and he doesn't look very good. I mean, obviously, we know Shedeur is a little bit, of an idiot. And
you said it, not me.
Traded him away. Did they trade him for? And then they signed Snoop Huntley just to play some preseason because everybody else was hurt. Who did they get back for Pickett? I forget. Was it a pick? Oh. And you can't forget they have another quarterback on this roster. We're not going to see him. And I don't even want to talk about him. So the second himself. We don't
have to talk about him.
I think he's off the books next year. So maybe this is a good reset year. You know what I mean? Yeah, Joe Flacco out there. You probably have Myles Garrett's going to make a few plays. People will be having fun in the dog pound. There's no expectations. They're gonna win 2-3 games. I feel like maybe more. Not early though. I mean, unless they could beat the Bengals, but after that, I mean, I was trying to find what's the last team to get a win because it's probably Cleveland or Miami. Whoever loses that week 7. I mean, it could be Miami if Miami's 0-6 if they're a complete disaster. It could be Cleveland here. I mean, like that looks like 6 losses, and then you play. Oh, let me remove
Yeah.
it. Maybe you beat the Jets off the bye. That's probably a good spot for you. Maybe that's where you bring in Shador. You get the crowd. Or it's on the road, but I mean, it's not like the Jets don't have a big home field edge. I don't even. I think I gave the Jets 0 for home field at the end of last season.
That Week 14 game looks winnable.
I don't know. I think this Ward kid might be good, but if he's not
might be,
good,
but you're picking out spots that they can win on the schedule. That's one of them.
Yeah,
that they could win.
I'm not betting the under. It's what I had at the bottom here. It's 5 or something.
Oh, I'd bet under 5 wins.
Yeah, okay, but here's the problem: if they win week 1, because we know what the Bengals do week 1. Then you're in trouble because that Miami game is winnable if Miami's a disaster.
Okay, the Miami game is winnable. 1.
The Jets game is winnable.
2.
Vegas on a short week.
At Vegas.
Yeah, but it's be 15.
Okay, we'll call it winnable. Okay, we'll call it winnable. 3.
Even if San Francisco is hurt, they're already hurt. San Francisco, they had the worst preseason of any team. They already have like 15 guys questionable.
Yeah, I think they'll be healthy by week 13, though.
I don't know. We know that I wouldn't be shocked that San Francisco on a short week. Who knows how many people are on the injury report? And then 17, 18. Who knows who's playing in those games? It's and like they could beat Baltimore. Like it's not like we've seen it. You know what I mean? Like
Baltimore, they could, but I'm just saying I would bet an under before I bet the over.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm not betting the over. But I'm saying like Baltimore likes to lose a game they shouldn't week 2, and look, this is a team that they lose a game they shouldn't to all the time. Yeah, but like it's probably like a 3-4, 3 wins. I think the team has 3 wins. I think
I said earlier I'd go be an O lineman for the Bengals. I would not be an O lineman for the Browns.
Oh,
I don't want none of that.
They'll get that. Listen, if you're a Browns fan, I think the Browns always have fun, ridiculous games. There's no pressure. Just go, drink, have fun. You know what I mean? But the tickets are probably going to be dirt cheap.
They are dirt cheap.
Exactly.
I believe to watch in Cleveland is around $60 for the cheapest.
Oh, I mean, come on, NFL game for $60. I mean,
I believe I could be wrong. And again, it also depends on who's coming to town.
Yeah, but that week 14 game, that could be a fun game. You get a young kid coming. Could be 2 young kids going at it. So if I'm in Cleveland, I probably buy tickets to that game for $80, whatever. Yeah, that's probably the game I would go to. The rest of them look kind of sus. But the Week 14 games looks fun. Anyways, enough of the wasted breath on a team that, I don't know. Will they have value against the spread? I don't know. I got this team, who knows? It's a disaster. But now, let's talk the new favorite in the NFC North, the Green Bay Packers, plus 180 to win the division. Their win total is now 10.5, I believe. The highest obviously the highest in the NFC North are the favorites. Micah Parsons is the newest member of the Green Bay Packers. And this team was already, the Sharps already liked this team. In my opinion, it's the reason the Sharps like him. They didn't have a star. It's the sum of the parts team. You know what I mean? Your quarterback's good. You have a lot of good wide receivers. Your protection's good. You have good players on defense, right? But there's nobody who stands out as a star. Like, who's your star? like Tucker Kraft. But now in comes a star, and this team, it feels like, is going to get, if they start off hot, they're going to get a betting bandwagon, and there's going to be no value very, very quickly, in my opinion, on this team. I am not the biggest Jordan Love guy, but he's got good guys around him. And they drafted a wide receiver early, that Golden kid, and he's going to start. He's listed as wide receiver 3 right now. They have a million wide receivers. Like Malik Heath is good, and he's
to me, all the receivers are the same.
Well, that's the thing. If this Golden kid is really, really good, and Micah works out, like, this team could be a problem. Now, the one thing I will say is that they could be susceptible to the run now with Kenny Clark. And this team has a history of getting run on. Now, I know that was, what's his name? Well, the bomb defensive coordinator they had before this guy. I can't think of him right now. I'll look it up while Johnny's talking. But they switched over. The defense was very good last year. But, could they return to their, sus run defense? Maybe. Parsons isn't great against the run. We know that. But I mean,
that's what Jerry Jones said. That's why one of the reasons they traded him.
Yeah, I know. Listen. Everyone's clowning the Cowboys. They got 2 first-round picks and a player.
They got 2 first-round picks and a player, and they didn't want to pay him $47 million.
Yeah, exactly. And let's be real. The Cowboys probably weren't going anywhere. They're the 3rd choice in their division, right?
Yeah,
they're
the Cowboys.
Their all-star offensive lineman just retired. The
Cowboys are a mess. Even a bigger mess now.
But maybe you just, if things start to go bad, Dak gets traded, Lamb gets traded, and you just restart.
I wasn't, I know we're talking about the North right now, and for next week, I wasn't going to bet Thursday Night Football opening day, but I'm probably going to bet some Eagles to cover the spread now.
It's up to 7.5.
Oh, I thought it would be even higher than that, so I got to bet it right after the show.
Okay, we're going to talk some Thursday Night Football in a minute, because we're not going to be on until Friday. But, yeah, they also got Nate Hobbs coming over from Vegas here. He's like, the Vegas defense is better than look. I didn't think he was that good on that defense, to be honest. I mean, he was always like, people like, the numbers were always good, but the eye test wasn't good. You know what I mean? It felt like he wasn't that good. Yeah, they have a good offensive line. The quarterback's good. Their backup quarterback's Willis. We thought, he took my money twice last year, and I thought, oh my God, Malik Willis is good now. And then I watched preseason, and oh no, when Malik Willis wasn't any good, the Colts and the Titans were just dog water.
Yeah, he's not good.
Yeah,
if Jordan Love gets out, if he's hurt, he misses a game. I don't know if they can do anything on offense.
Another big positive is that McManus sort of settled down their kicking problems. They've had kicking problems for a couple of years. So another positive. Green Bay looks like the rosy team here. The problem with the Packers is that every other team in their division can make the playoffs. Like, there's no bad teams in the NFC North.
Oh, there's one bad team in the NFC North.
I don't think they're that bad. We'll talk about that last.
Oh.
I know we're going to disagree there, but yeah, I mean, if you got Green Bay in, congratulations at your good number. Let's take a look at their schedule here. Where are they? The Green Bay Packers. All right, so that's a tough one to start, but it's at home. Then you got to go to Thursday, but again, at home. You know what I mean? Here's the thing: if Green Bay wins those 2 games, like, how many points are they laying in Cleveland? 10? 15? I don't know.
It's probably 14 points. I can't see it being maybe 13.5.
Yeah, and then of course there's the big week 4 game where I feel like I'm probably betting Dallas there. because
Oh
that line's gonna
no!
get inflated.
Spoiler: we're betting the Sox over. Dak's gonna get hurt that game.
Maybe. I don't. I
Maybe
think
they just sit him.
I think Micah liked Dak, so I don't know if he's gonna hurt him.
No, I don't think he liked anyone on his team.
Oh, maybe.
You don't go sleep on the bench.
Yeah. Oh, he
Listen,
slept on the bench?
Yeah, in preseason, he took a nap. Listen.
He
I get you
he wanted his money.
I get you want your money. Go be a team player and play for your team.
Yeah.
Don't just like. I know he was happy. He didn't want to be in Dallas. They obviously had beef between Jerry Jones and Parsons and all that. I really don't care. But go be a good team player, guys. Play for your team.
Yeah.
Because he was still under contract 6 years. Is that correct?
Yeah. He was.
So go do your job. Done. End of story. Shut up. He should have shut up and go do his job. Contract negotiations in the summer.
They had 3 years of control, I think, or something like that. Something like
go do your job though.
While. Yeah. Yeah. Well. I don't know. I honestly don't think the NFL is the new LML. What we call it. We call it LML. It stands for Load Management League, which is obviously the NBA because half the players don't play. But get back. I think in 2 years Dallas was going to win this trade. I
agree. $47 million a year. Has he played a full season yet? He's missed a game every year, right?
No, I think,
at least one game every year.
Maybe one game, but he hasn't missed many games.
I get it, but you know, in his big moments, you look at that Green Bay Dallas game in the playoffs 2 years ago. He was nowhere to be found.
So you know how at Dallas you can tend to have a lot of opposing fans. Do you think we see like the Cowboys fans come out for that game to boo his ass? Or are they more upset with Jerry?
I think it'd be a split. I think diehard fans will boo Parsons. They'll side with Jerry. Like, I don't know. They're different. Cowboys fans believe in Jerry. Yeah, everyone else knows he's a fool. But I'm just saying, is Parsons $7 million better than Garrett?
No. I think Myles Garrett's better.
And there you go. And you got 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark. This might be a real good trade for the Cowboys.
Yeah, maybe. Especially, can you imagine if they win Week 4? You know what I mean? Like if Green Bay gets off to a slow start and they lose because you could lose to Detroit, Washington. That's not, Detroit's very good. Washington's got an offense.
I still have Detroit as the number 1 in the division.
Oh, so you like the Lions to win the division
I like the Lions.
So here's the thing.
What's not to like about the Lions?
Well, the schedule. The schedule's bad.
That's fine.
But look at Green Bay's opening here. After the Washington game, even though both of them are home, so they probably win one. They start easy. So you can wait to bet the Lions because after the Packers play the Giants, Minnesota, Detroit, Chicago, at Denver, at Chicago, Baltimore, Minnesota. No easy games. Maybe the Bears, but the Bears may be at home, but the one in Chicago is going to be tough. That's going to be a Saturday standalone for sure. We don't know how good or bad the Bears are going to be. They're probably, in my opinion, the biggest wild card in the league, the Chicago Bears. So that could be 7 tough games. It could be easy games. Maybe Minnesota, the quarterback doesn't work. Chicago, no good. I mean, Baltimore's gonna be tough. At Denver's gonna be tough, and Detroit's gonna be tough. So it could end up being easier than it looks. So that's 5 divisional games. The other 2 games are at Denver versus Baltimore. So I think if you like the Lions to win the division, you can wait. And let's jump into the Lions schedule here. I'll pull the Lions schedule up. just to go with the continuity of the thing. You look at the Lions schedule. It's hard early, where you have Baltimore early. You have at Bengals, at KC, Tampa, before the bye. Minnesota, at Washington, at Philly. And then it starts to get a little bit easier when you take a look at Dallas at home, the Rams, you want to talk about a team with a bad season, bad preseason. Stafford looks like he's hurt. And it's going to be a problem.
Oh, I didn't even know he played. I thought he was sitting the whole preseason with an injury.
He didn't play the preseason. It sounds like his back is just awful. We have the Lions.
That's what happens when you get hit.
Yeah, exactly. But after the Tampa game, the Lions schedule opens up a little bit. The Washington game, you kind of feel like that's their playoff revenge game. But the Detroit Lions, so with this division, I think I want to bet the Lions again. I think they're being, they lost a couple coordinators, but this team is still absolutely loaded. Like, great, you have Micah Parsons. We're getting this guy named Aiden Hutchinson back.
He's just as good. He might even be better. I think he's going to play with a chip on his shoulder. That man is a dog. He's going to go out and he will play for his team. Unlike Parsons.
Oh, 100%. He was going to come back in the Super Bowl if they got there.
He wanted to come back even earlier if he could.
Yeah. Now, Ali McNeil, is he out for the year? I can't remember. So that was the one thing I'll look up that in a minute. But, it's almost the same roster. They lost a couple of guards. And, Graham Glasgow, his injury status is such. And they lost Dan Skipper. So they're swing tackle, but they cut him. So maybe they got one of these younger players they like to sit up. But you still have Goff, Gibbs, Montgomery, St. Brown, Williams, Khalif Raymond, Laporta, Penny Sewell, and Taylor Decker on the tackle. Aiden Hutchinson's back. You still got Joseph Branch, DJ Reed. The corners, Anzalone's still there. They're still going to be good against the run. Like, this team looks like the same team. Their coordinators are gone.
Yeah, so they're not going to have as many fun plays on offense.
I don't know. I think Dan Campbell calls the fun plays. I don't think it's the coordinators.
Oh,
he was calling the plays for a bit.
Dan Campbell wants real Lions to walk out with them. He's a fun man.
Listen, I love Dan Campbell. Okay, Dan Campbell's made me a lot of money. When I realized the Lions were better than market a few years ago, Dan Campbell.
I like the Lions too. I seen today actually that Parsons became the favorite to win the Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
I might take a stab at Hutchinson to win Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, defensive player. There's just so many guys. I wouldn't bet it until late in the season. There's just so many guys. Like
there's so many guys. Satan is a very good defensive player.
Yeah,
it's again going back with Hutchinson just playing with that little extra motivation that he missed last year. He's gonna play for his team. He's gonna go out and he's gonna play hard every game. I feel this year.
Yeah, and noticeably. So the Cowboys spread moved from 7 to 7.5. The Packers-Lions spread didn't move. Not a bit. Still 2.5. 2.5 green. I might have went to 2 to 2.5. That's not real movement. Like, it's still 2.5. If it gets to 3, I would definitely bet the Lions. Like we said, Parsons doesn't stop the run. What do the Lions want to do? They want to run the ball. They have, 3 good running backs. I even like Craig Reynolds. Is he still on the team? He is still on the team. And they have that Vacky guy. He's not even that bad. I've seen him run. I mean, it's not that hard to run between the tackles on the Lions' offensive line. Cowboy Keith could probably get a couple of yards.
He might snap his ankle.
After getting 3-4 yards, but
I don't know. Receiving the ball might snap his shoulder then.
Yeah, his shoulder is definitely his weak point. Yeah, there is concerns this team could regress. Okay, they look like world beaters last year. We're finally going to get the Lions-Eagles matchup we didn't get last year. But it's going to be in Philadelphia. Now the Eagles are on a short week. that week. So like I said, the schedule gets a lot easier after the bye. Like Tampa has the line has a little bit of the Lions number. At Kansas City, it's going to be tough. But look, they get Kansas City and the Chiefs on short weeks. They're on a short week, but it's against Cleveland. Like, who cares? There's a lot of Lions primetime football. The league loves the Lions. They're a fun team to watch. They draw. They play Green Bay on Thanksgiving. Did they win last year finally on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I think they smashed. Or maybe they covered.
No, was that the game that Matt Eberflus blew it?
That was the game that Gibbs had some good props for. I bet some good props on Gibbs, I believe.
Thanksgiving would have been what, November
26th, 27th?
Yeah, no, it was the Eberflus game. they beat the Bears by 3. I'm pretty sure that was the Eberflus game. So Matt Eberflus stopped the Thanksgiving curse for them, so maybe they can do it themselves this time. You can hear the Jays in the background. Bieber will be making his first pitch soon. So let's move along to the Minnesota Vikings.
I do have the Jays in the background.
Yeah, it's can you lower it a bit?
Yeah, I'll lower it for.
All right, so the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, I could tell you that they have. It's the same handicap as last year. Is the quarterback any good? Because last year the quarterback was good enough, and the quarterback was Sam Darnold. So the bar isn't that high.
I think just sorry for cutting you off, but I think he's definitely going to be at least on par with Sam Darnold.
Yeah. Darisaw should be coming back from injury. I think he's going to play week 1. Their big left tackle. That was a big loss last year. As soon as he got hurt, you could tell. Like, that's when Darnold started seeing the ghosts because the pressure was coming. Ryan Kelly comes over to play center, former Colts center. If he can, he's good if he can stay healthy, but he had injury issues last year. He's very good center. They got rid of who is it? One of the guards who's now on the Texans. He was awful, and now he's on the Texans. That tells you exactly what the Texans want him. He's bad because they can't figure out who's good at offensive line. The defense, Brian Flores. You want to have a long shot for Defense Player of the Year, Mr. Andrew Van Ginkel. I mean, Brian Flores loves this guy. Brought him over from Miami. He had 12, 13 sacks last year. He's a monster. He's one of those Max Crosby, like all effort guys. And Flores' defense is like the thing with Flores' defense. It's even good against the good quarterbacks. He's got so many wrinkles in there. But yeah, the handicap for Minnesota is McCarthy. Oh, and Thielen's back. Yay.
Okay, it's cute.
I mean, Addison's suspended, so that's probably why they brought him back.
It's cute, but you may get a couple of touchdowns and some yard sale, but his best days are behind him.
Yeah, his best days are behind him. Maybe they got him for the good vibes. Will Reichard, not sold on as a kicker, but Minnesota's never had a good kicker. Probably why they haven't won a Super Bowl ever. Jordan Mason and Aaron Jones should be a good 1-2 combo in the backfield. Obviously, the good old line. Is McCarthy good? If McCarthy's good, put the odds back up. If McCarthy's good, you bet this team to win. If you think McCarthy's going to be good, you bet this team to win the division. You bet this team to win the NFC. This team is loaded. Okay, the problems, quarterback. They went 14-3 with Sam Darnold last year. If this kid is good, like this team is the favorite to win the NFC probably by week 4. Like if he's cooking these guys, because this defense is disgusting. Okay, they might have the kicker's good enough, and the offense is good. You have Justin Jefferson, and this is that same thing. People, you can't draft Justin Jefferson this year. He's got a rookie quarterback. Yeah. Nonsense.
You see what numbers he did with Sam Darnold? I don't see much
it's not like he's 30.
Jay Jettas gonna get his yards. He's gonna get his TDs. You can draft Jay Jettas in fantasy.
Yeah, exactly. It's I think it's ridiculous. Now, and we'll take a look at their schedule because there's some interesting scenarios here where like they really could get if they play well, they could really get going and maybe have a repeat. Where they get it's them, not the Jags this year, who get the back-to-back overseas doublet. Now, the unfortunate thing is they're playing Cleveland in that game. They probably would have beat them anyways. But you know what I'm talking about? The NFL doesn't care what they do to the Browns. They
can treat that week as a vacation in London, okay?
Yeah. And we talked about how the NFL likes this team. Look at all the standalone games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They play on Christmas. The bye week's Monday Night Football. I probably forgot to delete that. So 6. they have bye week Monday Night Football.
That's a good game. I think the bye team covers.
Oh boy, I don't getting the bye. But yeah, I think the schedule's, there's a hard stretch there. You go Philly at Chargers, at Detroit, Baltimore at home, Chicago at Green Bay, at Seattle, Washington. So that's probably their toughest stretch there. But then you get Dallas and the Giants. They've owned Dallas for years. Oh, wait, does Dallas own them? Maybe Dallas owns them. I think they lost to Cooper Rush a few years ago. Maybe, but no, they're the team that beat the shit out of the Dallas. Remember when everyone's like, "Oh, how can Minnesota be favored over Dallas?" And then they went in. Oh no, Dallas owns them. It was how could Dallas be favored over Minnesota? And Dallas beat them. Yes, Dallas owns them. So this could get ugly, which is why it's like you got to win the first, 4 of the first 5. It feels like. I
feel like that's doable.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They should be. They can win 5. They could be 5-0, and I wouldn't be shocked winning the bye. Now the early bye, usually we don't like it, but when you have a rookie or essentially a rookie quarterback, I think it's fine. Get him into the offense. I am not playing this team anything because people who like him, people who don't like him. There's no for me. There's no like hard data that I want to like. There's nothing I've seen that I'm like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna be good. Like I want to watch him on the field a little bit before I start betting. In fact, I would only bet Chicago week 1. So I had a lot of people going to bet the Vikings, but the line remains pretty tight. So that's another telling sign. But yeah, the Vikings, like I said, and they could be the NFC favorites by the bye week. I wouldn't be shocked because Atlanta's a bad defense. Cincinnati's a bad defense. Pittsburgh's a bad offense. Or not a bad, but Pittsburgh's offense is sus. Cleveland's just bad. You know what I mean? And yeah, Chicago's going to be learning a new system week 1. So they could start really, really hot here. They owned the Eagles. I know that. And the Chargers, who knows with them. That week 9 game looks like a schedule.
Just an update. Bieber strikes out the side.
Oh, good. The Brewers are hot though, hitting right. That they can hit now all of a sudden.
The Brewers can hit. It's number 1 team in the NL was number 1 team in the AL.
Aren't we in second?
No.
Oh.
We have the tiebreaker over the Tigers.
Oh yeah. We whooped them in that series. That's right. Okay. One more team to go through, and then we'll get to Johnny's prop report. All right, this was the team last year. I said if you like them, if I was gonna bet somebody next year, I like the big price. It would be the Bears. I think I might play the over 8.5 wins with this team. They have played the Lions tough. consistently. They finally beat the Packers last year in a game that mattered for the Packers, but they threw in the towel. And then the Vikings Bears game has all been tight. They've been tough in division. The question again, it's quarterback questions. That's what I mean. Like, they have receivers. Odunze's in his second year. The fantasy people are going, you got to draft your second year wide receivers. We know DJ Moore is good. I'm not a fan of their running backs, but the running backs have mattered more. Okay, the last year for sure, the running backs mattered more. But I like Johnson. I'm not a Swift guy. Braxton Jones trying to block Micah Parsons is going to be an Aiden Hutchinson. And yeah, it's not great. These are the problems. But the other side of the offensive line is pretty good. Jonah Jackson. The guards are decent.
I hope Caleb Williams has got some nice ice packs ready, and he's got some good, he's going to get hit.
Oh, yeah. It's Aiden Hutchinson, Micah Parsons, and the Brian Flores blitz packages with Van Ginkel, which might be the best.
I just don't think. I don't know. I'm not high on the Bears.
They brought in Devin Duvernay. It's kind of a sneaky signing because they didn't have a kick return. Now they have one. I think the last good one was remember Tariq Cohen? He was pretty.
Well, you want to talk about who they brought in? Start with the biggest thing they brought in.
Yeah, the coach.
The coach.
Can he turn it around, Johnny? I think. Hey, I think.
See, the thing is, he had a lot more talent with the Lions than he does with the Bears.
I don't know. The Bears have had bad coach after bad coach after like John Fox, Matt Nagy. Who did they just fire? Everflus. And Everflus wasn't. And then downtown Thomas Brown. Remember the interim? like this kind of.
This is definitely the best coach that they've had in years, and he hasn't even coached a game yet.
Oh yeah. Even if
as a head coach.
Yeah, exactly. Now the one thing that the defense. Okay, Tyreek Stevenson. We know what happened last year. Okay, so here's another thing with the Bears. That Washington game, they were beating them. The game was in hand, and we have Tyreek Stevenson being a clown, right? And that was the end of their season. They were what, 4-2? They lose that game. They lost 8 in a row after that, including those, the Eberflus fumbles where the Bears were going toe to toe with the Lions. They played some decent teams here, or some decent games. They covered a lot, but they couldn't win.
Hey, winning results matter. Covering doesn't matter.
I know, but I like Jalen Johnson's now. He's hurt, and that's a big problem because Justin Jefferson's coming to town week 1. But you're at home. They don't now. Take a look at the schedule. I want to pull up the schedule here. I want to see. So another thing is they have quarterback depth, and there's a chance Tyson Bagent's better than Caleb Williams because he was cooking in the preseason. I know it was second and third stringers, but I mean he was like it looked like he knew the Ben Johnson offense right away, which is very, very good sign. Maybe he can help Caleb Williams. And I'm not sold Caleb Williams is awful. I'm sold that he's that bad offensive line.
I'm not sold that he's awful either. I'm just sold that he's gonna get hit a lot.
Well, he was sacked 40 times last year. So, but here's the thing: if the market, if Caleb Williams gets hurt and the market downgrades the Bears in any significant way, I'm absolutely hammering the Bears that week because I think Bagent might be better, or at least a lateral move. So that's what I'll definitely be watching for. Because if he does get hurt, I don't think the Bears are dead in the water. I think they have a good two who could probably take them pretty far. And let's take a look at the schedule here. it feels like you have to win that Minnesota game though. Like it feels like you got to do it. You got to beat the kid in his first start. You just got to do it.
You do. You got to start strong.
By hook or crook, you got to figure out a way to win that game. You're at home, and the kid's making his first start in Soldier Field, and it's going to be loud in there. I feel like that's Monday Night Football in Chicago, and hopefully they get a little bit of wind. I think they're probably going to cut. It's grass. They're probably going to cut the grass a little bit long, get him off his game. This isn't no indoor game in Minnesota. This is a road game in Chicago. It might be hot. The Detroit game, they owe Detroit a win. I think they could beat Detroit once. They could definitely beat Dallas and Vegas at home. And the Washington game off the bye, I like that because that's the revenge game. And it's almost the same team. Like when you think about it, the players, anyways. Obviously, the coach is the key difference. And then you get a free win week 7. The free space on the schedule. They better not fucking lose that game. If they lose that, would be so bad to the Saints. Then it gets a little tough. Baltimore, Cincy. But you get the Giants. So the Bears 3 extra games, right? The NFC North, their extra games are Vegas, New Orleans, and San Francisco. Okay. San Francisco, that's unlucky, but you get San Francisco on a short week at least, and you're on a extra rest because you play Green Bay on Saturday.
They got the 49ers, which could be a tough game, but you got the Saints, which is a free game. So you take the tough game for the free one. Yeah, and Vegas.
So I think I want to play the over here, man. I think I'm gonna believe I think Detroit's going to be fine, but I think Ben Johnson was good. It's just, why would you change? Detroit's probably going to keep the same system or close to it, right? The new offensive coordinator, Dan Campbell, will mix up a few things here and there. But I don't know. I think Chicago. Now, I know they've said Chicago win total under has been basically free money for years, except the Jake Cutler year where he won 11 games and then was on the bicycle in the NFC Championship game. Well, I think it was Caleb Haney got lost to the Packers. The offensive line, just Braxton Jones, man. Like that's my biggest worry. Like I think that the defense will be fine. They have corners. If Jalen Johnson can get help, he matters a lot. He's like a Surtain, not as good, but like a guy who can shut down the number one for the majority of the game. He's like a Jalen Ramsey more, from a couple years ago. But injury concerns. But and even that Philly game on Black Friday, it's going to be tough. But I've been so the Circa. So there's this big Survivor contest in Vegas called the Circa Survivor, and you have to pick. For that contest, you have to pick a Thanksgiving game and a Christmas game in addition to your regular game that week to make it a little bit harder. So you have less chops because it's a lot of people entering. And they estimate something like $20 million for the payout. A lot of people are on Philly that are going to save Philly for the Bears game. But I've heard the other side was I don't know if I want to do that. So I don't even ring off that game. So, it's going to be tough to beat Green Bay. But again, you don't have to beat your division opponents twice. You just got to beat them. Maybe if you go 2-4 in division, you can take out New Orleans. You can take out Dallas, Vegas, Giants, Cleveland. You know what I mean? I think you can get to 9 here. I think they got to get to 9 here. They got to do something. At least get to 9 wins. Get a 500 season. You know what I mean? Like that week 18 against Detroit. If Detroit's playing, I think Detroit will be playing somebody because the division's so tight. But the Bears can even be live to win the division because the division's so tight by week 16. So yeah, I'm probably gonna stick to my guns that Chicago's gonna have a good season, and I'll play the win total over.
I will not.
I know you don't like it. Yeah, I know you will not. All right. That concludes that's all the teams. We've gone through all of them. We've gone through all of the schedules. Oh, let me just remove the Bears here. There we go. So Johnny has a few season-long prop bets. One of them you've already heard on the show. One of them, Johnny told you already, T. Higgins. But one of them I gave out.
T. Higgins. You gave out the Bucky one a few weeks ago. Yeah. Is that correct? Yeah, I really like it a lot. He hit. Oh, yeah. He went 1,005 yards over. He got his last year and being the number one back half the season.
Yeah,
and he beat he beat it by 100 yards. He should, barring any injury, he should get us, by week 13, week 14. We should be an easy cash, guys.
Yeah, I bet the 1250. I bet the 1,500 too. And look who they play week 16 and week 18, the worst run defense of all time, the Carolina Panthers. We don't of all time, but the best running attack last year, I mentioned this in the South show, was whoever played the Panthers. Do you like him to lead? I also bet him to lead the league in rushing. Would you sprinkle on that?
Yeah, I would. I definitely who else would you take?
Well, I feel like Rachaad White is strictly going to be third down.
Oh no, for sure. I think Bucky is going to carry the ball over 300 times this year.
Yeah, 20. Simply because I would say he's probably at 20 carries a game. So that's 20 times 8 is 17. 400 minus 60. Yeah, it's over 300. Yeah.
Last year, Saquon had 384 carries.
Yeah.
That's a heavy. That's not including postseason.
Yeah, I know, and he carries the ball in the postseason too. Now, some of Saquon's carries doesn't get touched. That's the thing. But
no, he's still. I like Saquon. I don't think he's going to be as good as this year. So the problem is I don't want to play his under.
No.
Because it's 1-2 games I could just get blown out by it.
They play the Giants twice.
Yeah, exactly. That could be 400 yards.
Yeah, I do like the Philly under 11.5. I haven't bet it. I gotta bet that. I gotta keep forgetting.
It's just I'm not gonna be as high on Saquon this year.
Okay. Who else do you have in your prop report?
I have Justin Herbert over. What's the number? What number did I get? The 3650 and a half. Passing yards.
Herbert, eh? Why?
He's hit it 4 out of 5 years.
Oh, okay. Just consistency. Perfect.
He's hit it 4,000, I believe, or close to 4,000 4 out of 5 years. With worse weapons than he has now.
I mean, his wide receiver 2 is Quentin Johnston, but
Keenan
Allen's back. Oh, don't worry.
Keenan Allen, let's have some fun on the Chargers.
Well, I heard some good news for the Chargers. Najee Harris looks like he's going to play week 1.
That's bad news for the Chargers. He's not very good.
Oh, so you like the Hampton kid, or?
Nope. Okay. Not going to say anything because we have some business to take care of on Sunday.
Yeah, okay. I'm not touching them, so you don't have to worry about me. Okay. Did you have another one? I think there was one more.
No, I'm not too big on season long props.
Yeah, it's you gotta lock your money for a while.
It's not just that. It's just 1-2 hamstring injuries, and you could be just done on injuries alone.
I think it is like if you bet every prop under, you win like 20%.
Yeah. Like I just hurt. People get hurt. The quarterback could get hurt. Linemen could get hurt to affect the run game. There's just so many variables. Yeah, they could just suck. Like it's just so many. So many options could happen. I don't know, but I didn't take a look at it to be fair. But who knows? Maybe I'll bet it.
The under?
No, the oval.
Oh, the over. Okay. Because
I
last
think
year he was distracted, but I've heard this year people think he's locked in.
I don't know if he's locked in, but I could see him being distracted because Taylor was traveling a lot with her concert schedule, and I'm sure he was involved in that. And it was a lot on him, and he probably had that ring for a while, and this is his swan song. I think he's done after this year. A lot of people think he's done after this year. Yeah, he might have a bit of a bounce back.
Yeah. Okay. I'm with you. Like I've seen a lot of takes that you should play the under. I think it could be he could be fine. I think he'll be fine this year. I'm actually like if he falls, like maybe I take him. I wouldn't hate it.
I wouldn't hate it either if I get him at a late pick. My pick
Also,
for
all the tight
MVP.
ends are the same, anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Outside of the first two.
My pick for MVP would be Joe Burrow. I just think he's gonna put up monster
He's due.
yards. He's due. But the problem is like Allen and Lamar, they run in the touchdowns like that's gonna hurt too. But like if Burrow wins the division, since he wins the division, Burrow's MVP for sure. No questions asked.
Yeah,
so like if since he's cooking mid-season,
unless Lamar gets hurt.
Yeah,
I
still think he can win it even without Lamar though. He's due. He's gonna put up monster numbers with Chase and Higgins.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have one more piece of business to take care of before we log off here. The overrun has gone long. Thursday night, the season kicks off. I went up back Friday, not back to Friday. So Thursday night, I don't usually bet Thursday night football. Because I just find my record.
I know you probably don't have anything prepared, but there's a Friday night game too this week.
Oh, what time is that?
I believe it's 8:15, regular primetime game.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. We'll try to do the show next week before that Friday game. Though I'm only betting the Chiefs. Anyways, the 47.5. The Eagles 7.5 point favorites. Eagles coming off Super Bowl victory over the Chiefs, no doubter. Cowboys coming off trading their best player. The line has moved towards Philly, 7.5 now. Johnny mentioned earlier you like the Eagles to cover.
Yeah, I would only take the Eagles to cover.
So traditional betting wisdom. Someone asked me about this game actually on Tuesday. And I said, traditional betting wisdom says you don't bet the banner racing team. So for me, it was going to be Cowboys or pass. I don't. This is kind of throwing a wrench into things. I'm probably not going to bet the game. I rarely bet Thursday Night Football unless I have a really, really good opinion on it.
I was the same way too. I was going to bet the Cowboys. I wasn't even going to put Cowboys money line. But now I'm probably going to bet the Eagles just because I feel like betting the first game of the season. Now you gotta get nice.
But like maybe this is like I don't know what Hurts passing yards are going to be, but if it smells like Dallas is going to just stop the run. I also think Dallas' coach is not good. I think McCarthy was better.
Maybe we just go with the Saquon receiving yards.
Oh, Jason likes the Cowboys spread statement game.
Statement game.
Oh, the only statement they're going to make is I can't think of the word. Like when you quit your job, the quitting statement. That's what they're going to make. Because I can smell this team quitting by really like Dallas is one of those fragile teams that will quit early in the season. You just keep betting against them.
Like if the Eagles blow them out, it's gonna be a long year for the Cowboys.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the Eagles are good, but like the Cowboys are front runners. When the Cowboys are winning, they love to show off and score a bunch. I don't know. I'm not betting Dallas. I'm not laying 7.5 on the banner raising night when you have the long ceremony. It takes you out of your rhythm. But I don't want an under because Dallas defense is horrid. Can Dallas score here? Maybe Dallas can score here. Maybe this is an over. I don't know who's their wide receiver too. I forget.
Pickens.
Oh yeah. All right. Over 47. I'm in.
Yeah, why not?
They have no defense. We'll play on the half a unit. Over 47. The total's going up a little bit. I think it's 46.5. But I mean, like the Cowboys defense, the Eagles probably gonna do whatever they want. It's banner raising night, and the Eagles are gonna have no problem clowning the Cowboys. They hate the Cowboys. So if this game gets out of hand, the Eagles might get it all for us. And if this game doesn't get out of hand, Dak Prescott, even when the game is out of hand, Dak Prescott loves those empty calorie touchdowns, those garbage time. Oh, there's Dak Prescott with a great drive, and now the Eagles are only leading 37-18. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Hey, that's how he got that big contract.
Yeah. All right. Over 47, the first official bet here on Pie Guys Pick'em. I will, if I have a bet for the Friday game, I will post it. But I'm going to try to go on at 6 next Friday. It's going to be tight. But keep post for our Instagram. I will post the time for the show next week. But maybe I do an early show. I might do an early show. I think that's gonna be the plan. We'll do an early show next week. It'll probably be solo, but it'll be early show, maybe 1-2 o'clock, something like that. That's the tentative plan. Keep an eye on social media. Thanks everybody for watching. Again, if you want to follow me on social media, it is at Pieguy9871. Johnny, any last remarks before the season starts?
Let's have a good season, guys.
Yeah, Johnny's been the hottest thing on the show since October last year, and even my betting got a little bit better as the season went along too. So we're hot in the CFL. Watch Rance Roman Rouges, and we'll see you next Friday for the Week 1 Pie Guys Pick'em. Goodbye.